Hey dear creative mind, welcome back to the channel. I'm so glad you are here. Today we are diving into one of the most stylish and functional detail in fashion design. I will be showing you step by step how to sew it clean and professionally. So whether you are looking to elevate your pieces or sharpen your sewing skills, this is one detail you will definitely want to master. And don't forget to drop a comment and also subscribe to this channel. Let's get into it. So yeah, first thing I did is to use my T-square to draw a straight line. So yeah, now I extended the line. Then the next thing I did is to divide the neck width by 2. So my own neck here is, I divided it by 2, it gave me 9.5. So I marked it there. Then I raised it up here with 0.75. Then I connected the line. So now I draw a curved line below here. After doing that, I'll be adding 1 inch all through here. Just follow it and see. Now I roll this part and I curve this place carefully. So at this point, I use this 4-corner edge to draw a straight line there, and I reduce it again with 0.1 inch. Then I reduce this top part again, and I created the curve there. So yeah, now I just cut them off now. This will be the lower part of the collar. So after cutting it now, what I did next to extend this straight line upwards. And I bring the lower part of the collar, I place it there, because you'll be needing it to create the bigger part of this collar. Then I mark the shape there, just carving the shape. Then here now, what I will do next, at this point, I mark where the bigger collar will end, because I'm creating a pointed straight collar. So as you can see, I rolled it. Then here I place this lower part, raising it about 0.4 inch on top of it. So it will do now. So I extend this line very well. So now I bring back this lower collar. The inch was 1 inch there. So here now I'll be adding like 0.65 inch on top of it, which make it 1.6 inch there. Then at this point I mark 3.5 inch I mean. So as you can see now, so I just extended the line. Just follow it carefully. This is just the first phase of this pattern, you understand? So now I cut it off. So yeah, I still cross check it, same way I did the earlier on. So now in this big part now, I'll be measuring 5 inch upwards too. And I extend it. Now on this 5 inch, I'll be dividing it by 3, because here now I'm trying to expand the collar so it can fit well with the lower part of the collar. So now I marked the inch which I divided into 3. I marked it carefully and I rolled them again. So as you can see now, I flip it to trim it almost to the end, but not cutting it off. So after doing so now, I bring back a brown paper, because I'll be using this brown paper to expand it on it. So now I draw a straight line and I trim it off. As you can see, just observe it carefully. So now at this point, I'll be using office pin to expand it so that it will be accurate, you understand? So I open each part of this notch placed here. I open it with about 0.15 inch, so that it will make everything to be a total of 0.5 inch, you understand? So now I just extend it carefully on each side. Do make sure you cross check your own to make sure that it later reached the 0.5 inch. So after doing that, I followed back the collar carefully. Now I'll be tracing it to follow it carefully. On each side I followed it carefully. So as you can see now, I extend it carefully, marking it exactly. So I still use my lower part of the collar to cross check to know if it's okay for me. So now it won't really do. At this front part I just added it a bit again. So now I still cross check it again. So this is okay for me. Now I remove the office pin here now. Now you can see how the collar look like now. So I just remark it so it can be visible. So I cut it off. So now here I will be cutting same way here, extending this collar, because you know we are cutting a triple pointed collar, you understand. So I cut this first part, and we need two parts of this kind, you understand. We'll be needing two of it, so I cut for two now. So as you can see, we'll be needing it for this collar. So here now, at this front part, I'll be measuring 1.25 inch. So now I marked it, as you can see. At the main collar, this is at the main collar, you understand. So I still divide the 1.5 inch by 2, and I mark it again. So this is just how it will look, and I cut it off. So now I brought back the other brown paper which I cut off. So here now I'll be marking still 1.25 inch, you understand. Just follow carefully and understand this process. You can see it's exactly the same way I did in the previous one. So now I divide it into 2. So now I'll be trimming the first divide, you understand. This will serve as the second layer of the collar. Then at this point I marked 1 inch. Just observe and watch carefully, you understand it later. This 1 inch that I marked will overlap in the collar, you understand. Look at how it is now. It will be overlapped by the main collar, you understand. So on the other part, brown paper I cut, I'll still be extending it with these little pieces here. Just marking the exact pieces there, which is about 0.65. So now as you can see, now I marked it. This is exactly the pieces there. Then I extend with 1 inch again, and I still mark it. Then I cut it off. So now as you can see now, this will be the number 1 overlay, like then number 2, then this is my first overlay. So I'll be lapping it carefully, you understand. So I hold it with office pin too. So this is my 1 and 2, 0, 1 and 2, you understand. So I use the lower collar again to cross check it, raising it about 0.4 upwards on the collar. So here now I'll be marking half inch. Yes, 0.4 inch. 0.4 inch. This now I'll be trimming it away so the collar can be flexible. Just watch and see. I will still place back this inch which I will be deducting here, you understand. I'll place it while gumming the collar, you understand. Just observe it and see. I want to give the collar a very curved look. So now this lower collar will just be beneath it. I don't want the collar gum to be there. It will be too rigid at the collar. So this will do. And that's how it is. So now let's head on to cutting it on the collar gum. So now I folded the collar gum into 2. I'll be cutting for this first one. And I'll be pinning it, holding it to the pins. And I'll be cutting for the second layer too. So as you can see, I follow it carefully with the office pin. So after pinning them now, I use my pencil to trace it carefully, using the ruler to make sure I get the straight edge. You understand? I want it to be very sharp. Then at this part, I raise it up with 0.25 inch here. Don't worry, you understand it later throughout the sewing. Just observe and follow through. Now at this part, so I bring it down to here, raising it about to 0.25, bringing it down there too. Just follow me carefully. You see why I did that. So after doing this, now I cut it off. This will be my number 1. Do ensure you mark yours so that you won't be confused while gumming it. So this is the number 2 now, and I mark it too. Just marking it on both sides. So as you can see now. So after this one now, I'll be cutting for the main collar, the lower collar here. So I pin it, and I pin also the main bigger collar. You understand? So now I still use the same pattern, marking it with the pencil, following it carefully, making sure it's the exact shape on the pattern. You understand? Yet so I raised it up with 0.25 inch at that tip part of the collar. You understand? Don't worry, I will display it and show you the reason for that now. So I trace this part to the lower collar. Just follow it carefully and stay with me on this. So after that, I hold the collar gum together with the office pin too. I hold this part too with the office pin, so that both parts will be equal. So now I cut it off carefully. So you can see how it looks now. So now I'll be cross-checking it. Here now I will show you the reason why I lifted it up on each point with 0.25 inch. So you can see this point. This is how I intended it to be. So but for this point, I'll be reducing this first part so as for it to give me the shape I'm looking for. So just follow me carefully and see what I'll be doing here. And this part too, I'll be reducing it at the back, reducing that too. Just observe. So now for this first one, I just reduce it at the back side. I don't want any case for it to be that visible on the collar. You understand? This is okay now. Now this other one too, I'll be reducing it, as you can see now. Just follow me carefully and you know why I did this. You understand? So now I still cross check it again. So now I place the second layer. You can see now I just want the collar to be a bit more than each of the other ones with 0.25. So now I head on to iron it. So I iron this carefully. So I cut it off now. So you remember the 0.4 inch which I deducted while cutting the pattern. So I added it on the material here. So now I gum the little layers now. So I cut it off, and remember too, I added the 0.4 inch which I deducted from the pattern. So now I cut the interface. So I gum for this too. This one I'm using a plain material, because I want to make it to look like a design on the collar. I cut it off. Here's the interface now. So as you can see, I'm done with that. Then here now, I'm cutting the interface for this big collar and the lower one. So I hold it first with office pin carefully. So now I just cut it off. So now this part now, I'll be folding this part with hemming gum here. Just the lower part, I'll be folding it with the hemming gum, because I won't necessarily need to do a double sewing here in the collar. So now, let's head on to the sewing process of this. So now, first thing first, I sew the interface for the little layers of the collar, following it carefully close to the collar gum. So same process I did for this, I'll be replicating it, sewing the interface the same way for the rest layers, you understand? So here now, I won't be trimming this side close to the collar gum, but here I will just trim it close. So as you can see, I've trimmed it for the whole layers. Now for this main collar, the bigger layer, I'll be sewing it too carefully. So now I'll trim it close to the collar too here. This is to help the collar to be able to interface very well and freely, you understand? So now I interfaced it now. Yeah, this part I'll be using my hand needle to pluck out the pointed part of the collar. So as you can see, I follow it carefully with the hand needle, and here is the result. And I've already plucked out for this side, and I'll be doing the same for the little layers. I interfaced it carefully, then I'll be plucking it out with the hand needle too. Just watch close. So I'm done. Now I'll be ironing them. Here now, I displayed for the both layers how I fixed the hemming gum and iron it side by side carefully, you understand? So as you can see how it looks, I followed it side by side carefully. Now this is how it looks, and I replicate it for the rest so you can see them now. Now for the bigger collar, I plug in little hemming gun, little by little, you understand, following it carefully. Then I ironed it. So I just bend it carefully and ironed it. So now you can see how it look now. So at this part I'll be gumming it now. This is the 0.4 inch which I added there. So I'll be gumming it to hold it firm before trimming the excesses there. So now by the time I'm joining the collar now, that part will be a bit flexible for the collar to be able to fold on its own. That was the main reason why I didn't extend the collar up to the bottom of where I'll be sewing it. You understand? I want the joining part for the upper and the lower collar to be a bit free and flexible. So this is it now. So now I'll be joining it now. Firstly, I brought out the layers. And remember the 1.5 inch which we measured. The division of that will give us like 0.6 inch. So I marked it on each layers, you understand? Marking it carefully. So now before sewing it, I bend it to mark the 0.4 inch there, which I reduced, you understand? So that part I want it to be flexible. That was why I marked it to indicate it, you understand? So now I sewed it, and I brought for the main collar, and I indicate the 0.4 inch there too, because that part is the flexible part. So I overlap it too, and I sewed it, you understand? So now you can see the process. Just follow it carefully. So now this part too, I make sure I mark the flexible part, which is the 0.4 inch side there, you understand? Because I minus the 0.4 inch from the pattern I was creating. So I ensure I just mark it here to know where the collar gum stop here before overlapping it, you understand? So now that is that about this. So I still sewed it again to make sure it's hold firm. So you see I bend that part now. You see how free it looks. Now I fold the collar gum into two so I can get the middle for this part, the middle part of the collar. So yeah, I notched it. And for the lower collar too, I brought it and joined it, fold it together to get the middle part too. Then I notched it too in the same way. And for its interface now, I fold it into two and I notch it respectively, you understand? So now we're placing the interface for the lower collar first, then placing the bigger one at the point there where I notched it, then overlapping it too again with the main lower collar. So now I'll be sewing this part, following it carefully, and I'll be observing with my hand the part where the collar gum stop there, you understand? The flexible part of the bigger collar where the collar gum stop, that's 0.4 inch. I'll be observing it, sewing just the 0.4 inch there. As you can see carefully, I turned it. Yeah, now this is how it look. I cut it off. So now I flip it. I'll flip it now to the other side. Just watch and see. I still follow it carefully at the 0.4 inch. Understand? So yeah, then I flip it again to start the sewing, so I can be able to sew it well accurately on 0.4 inch. You understand? Just follow it carefully. Make sure it's equal. So I trim it off. As you can see now, I just interfaced it now. So as you can see how it comes out. Very accurate. Nice looking. Now let's head on. Let me show you how I ironed it. And firstly, I ironed the lower part of the collar. I followed it carefully at the lower part of the collar with iron. For it to be able to get off collar, you have to be friendly with the iron. And make sure you iron the lower part of the collar very well, you understand? That should be your center of focus, you understand? So after doing it now, you can see how it looks. Then I fold this part here, flip it and fold it well. Then I ironed it now. Just watch and see. And I used the bigger iron to cool it off, you understand? So you can see how sharp it's looking now. So I did it for the opposite part as well. So now, in order to get the very curved shape, I used this big material and I wrapped the collar round about it. This will help it to come out very curved. Make sure it's very tight here and intact. So I used the iron again, following it carefully, making sure it's well steamed, you understand? I steamed it well with water and ironed it. As you can see now, this is how it looked like. You can see how curved it looks, giving a kind of unique and classic look, making it look like a twist. So this can go for your occasional outfit, you understand? So do ensure you try this out, and I'll be glad to get a review for this. So at this point, this is my first attempt and second attempt. Let me know in the comment which one looks better. If you have stayed to this end, make sure you like, share and subscribe, and see you guys on the next tutorial. Thank you guys for watching.